Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily on City TV. Remember, the show is interactive, and so you can send us a message via WhatsApp on 0550-585832. If you're watching from outside Ghana, prefix it with country code +233. And of course, on social media, don't forget to use the hashtag Breakfast Daily.
That's right. We're taking a trip We're taking a trip to a town called Abensu. Okay. Now, the interesting thing about this community is that there's a particular bridge that a lot of residents rely on for their daily activities. Okay, whether they're going to school, whether they're going to work. But this particular bridge is in a deplorable state. It's actually considered a death trap. Now, our colleague Akosia Otri went to the town to go and see what's happening there with this bridge. We'll take a look at what she discovered when she went there, and when we come back, we'll chat with her about what she discovered.
People living around Tichakope, Abensu and Pokwase have no option than to use this deplorable bridge, which looks very dangerous. The bridge, fixed years ago, has seen no reconstruction. Its current state has become a death trap than an access route. Residents who spoke to City News expressed their frustrations.
This bridge has been helping us a lot. It was damaged, and then we ourselves, the men in the town, have to come together, go and cut the coconuts that you are seeing in the river, and then they have to do the bridge. When it rains, nobody can cross. Me myself, sometimes I don't go to school. I have to use a motorbike, go and pass through the other side before going to school.
Bridge when you name say first na nsuo ni nso sa, but esan say ye manfo na ye mpanyufo na edi anim no ye mua ye ma ye mfensiesie bridge ni ntino. Amen ne wo se na nsuo na atara akoye nti ye besre ye mpanyifo omo hu ye mobo no omo be ye bridge man nti yesre ya pawucho Abensu hine hwan yo yesre mo omo be ye bridge ne man wa ya pamucho ye ma ahaya na obi efa sesi a bridge ye so na menam sesi a mekoi nti se me ba na nsuo yira hemfa na mefa ti yesre mu ya to aba ma musem mbeye bro no so ye ya nto aba ma musem nkotena ase a bridge ni de enye kra me ba ha almost 2 years ya ka ho asema edru mi kra de be yiri kra obi antumi mfa so nti nkwala ni say no wa ma mi wo ska no fa moto ma wa na wa fa tire oko school so ma mi ni ska de ya ne na ese wo fie nti bebre tre fie almost be 2 weeks kra nse na nsuo ni tumi twetwe na papa bi wa ha da ro mo fre na efuo ye efuo wa ha odum yempa da bia ekotia onu anofo so no apenda do ani nua na ode ayam.
The troubling aspect is that children have had to on daily basis ply this route to school. Any false step endangers their lives since the wooden bridge is constructed over a stream. A teacher in the community who is frustrated about the challenges of school children in crossing the dilapidated bridge tells City News more about this bridge and its impact on the community.
This bridge was there for almost over 3 decades. It was constructed by the NDC government before these people came. You can see the old wood concrete pillars. So as people keep on using the bridge, it came to a time it's destroyed. That was last year, and then Benevolent came and then to support. Even there's a church here called Assemblies of God, so they also came to support because there are people who have been plying this place, so they came to support it and then we renovated it. So it came to it, and that was 2018 when
you renovated the broken bridge.
One. Okay. As you see it, then the people were still using it. Then during 2018 that way, it collapsed again. So the community, we even called the MP, he couldn't even show up. So the community came and then we mobilized and then we bought wood and then we were renovating it, and then the MP came and then stopped us, even threatened to even call the police to come and arrest us, and we don't have the locals to repair it. So we left it every day. Even this bridge they are using 24/7. Even the midnight you can see people passing because it's the shortest way that link the communities at Abensu, Chichako and the passing.
So you said as residents you mobilized your own funds to get
this one that we are seeing here. It was 1 month ago that when it rained, the rain just took it away. So we have nobody to even contact because they have me failing. So we quickly mobilized ourselves. Then we went and then cut the coconut tree. You can see it. It took it about 2 weeks to even lift it and bring it here. So we use the old wooden slabs to put on it, and people were using it.
Easy for us because sometimes when the rain fall, we used to pass at a long way. Sometimes we used to get to school around 8, so it's not easy for us being passing here.
Okay, getting to school. Well, what time are you supposed to be in school?
At least by 7.
So you delay an hour just because of this bridge.
I would like the government to help us so that we can all pass here so that it can help our education too.
In recent times, some persons, while trying to cross the bridge, lost their lives in the stream beneath. Most recently, 3 siblings who were crossing the bridge fell off and were caught in the flowing stream. Luckily, 2 of them were saved from drowning, but their 5-year-old sister, affectionately called Obapa, could not be rescued. It's been over a week now, and tragically, Obapa has not been found. Mother of the 5-year-old girl narrates the horrible ordeal.
And was a man soon the echo. Timmy started say, me shout. It in Jatan Baby was say, and will pay by na. Obey ye too, whom with an say, no bar power. And was say, of course, on my so dream, the dreamable, or castle on Sonichi, when Timmy and Sonichi, Tim soon the Nico. Timmy did the day, did this had the call. Because the police station, Miss Moon, or Moon seems soon. Timmy free home, did call ya nipper, the Kusini Cotton soon, and the Pabaji me sad me, a bear fiend in Bayana, but with me, my boys too. No, I can say, Omoko too, be crunchy bar, me and Sunday bag girl, and they soon to think we no could save you, and when you one power and me, and ya one.
Stella Sappho mentions her aspirations for her daughter, who she says would have grown to be a musician in future.
Oh. Me bandi was so 5 years. We oya baya we premium akula do with reality obi oni ni bia de. What asem we ya. Who say ya de bi ayela.
It's no oko school class when.
Okay, KG1.
KG1.
Well, a 5-year-old girl is missing and presumed dead because of that ramshackle bridge that people are forced to use to cross over those dangerous waters every day. That report is by our colleague, Akosua Otrin. She's joined us here in the studio this morning. Good morning, Akosua.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just emotional.
Yeah, you will be. I mean, how disturbing was it for you to report on such a story?
So, you know, even before this story, I had been in the constituency, that's Chobu constituency, during the 2020 general elections. I had covered it. So I knew how it felt like moving from one community to the other.
Okay.
Bad roads, we'll not talk about that, but particularly this bridge. So when I got the tip off from a resident that there's this bridge that most residents apply to, their offices, schools, and all of that, I quickly didn't waste time. I went there, I decided to go and see the situation. And even me trying to cross the bridge was seeing a miracle. Trust me, it is so unbalanced. And if you don't take care, even me as an adult, I wasn't so balanced on the bridge. I felt like I was going to fall. And you know, so I'm wondering how these kids, traders, and even maybe a pregnant woman could be on that particular bridge. It wasn't so easy. And I decided to jump on, do the story, and tell how it's impacting on the lives of residents in the community.
Okay, so this is in Trouble constituency, and it's also which assembly?
So that's Ganoth municipality.
Ganoth, okay.
Yes.
Any word from them with regard to plans to fix it? I mean, the thing, 30 years old, residents have been trying to just patch it up as time goes on. At what point is the assembly going to come in and fix it properly? Have you been able to speak to someone there?
Yes, so I spoke to a teacher the teacher who narrated the history about the bridge and all of that. He told me that, of course, they've spoken to the assemblyman, spoken to the MP, that's Moses Enin. They've spoken to quite a number of authorities, even the chief, but nothing is being done. And they're frustrated. At this point, they don't know what to do. So the deaths keep occurring, incidents, calamities all over the place. And so we've really not gotten to the assemblyman or gotten to the chief or even the MP, Moses Enim, to find out what their plans are. But I think that if they had a plan, it would have been executed.
Well, maybe we should find out what their plan is. We
do
have
have the assemblyman.
Exactly.
So, we're going to engage him via Zoom.
Yes.
And then he's going to tell us exactly what has been done about it, what they intend to do about it, and what the timelines are, because obviously this is a danger to the residents. Imagine a person who's flying it for the first time, not knowing how imbalanced it is, as Akusia narrates. Perhaps in an emergency state, rushes over it. The
It could be disaster. All right. So Honorable Sultan Nuhu Mohammed is joining us remotely. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Daily. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I understand you've been paying attention to our discussion on the Abensu Bridge. Let's just find out from you, as an assemblyman, your knowledge of what's going on with this bridge and if there are any plans for it to be fixed properly or reconstructed.
All right, thank you very much. And my warm greetings to everyone in the studio and then everybody within the Pukwase electoral area, Abensu electoral area. In fact, let me also use this opportunity to send my condolences to the bereaved family. It's a very unfortunate incident that happened last Friday, 29th. It is something that we will never, overcome it. It's a very sad thing. In fact, what have happened over the years is that this footbridge has been in existence for a very long while. Unfortunately, maintenance has not been that, often, because looking at the nature of the footbridge, it spans a very long distance. And so individuals, means of refixing it or putting it in shape, is quite expensive until I became the assembly member. We have done our possible best to lobby for its repairs. Unfortunately, there has been a whole lot of delays, partly due to the demise of our former MCE. She was putting things in place until she passed on. And as we know, the assembly is a very new assembly, just 2 years of its life. And we lost the MCE. And unfortunately, to our MMDCs, the appointment of it became a very long journey. So it was just recently that we had a new MC, a very vibrant man. He has full knowledge of the issue at hand. In our last General Assembly sitting, it was a very topical issue, and he has promised that with immediate effect, he's coming to site. And I'm aware of the plan, the drawings that has already been done for the new construction of the footbridge. But to also give a little bit of history, on the 1st of April this year, the Honorable MP brought a contractor to site to inspect and then, start the construction of a new footbridge. The contractor gave a lot of promises. Unfortunately, he hasn't been to site. So it is, I don't want to, stand on somebody's promise that it will be done to say that it will be done. But I believe firmly that our new MC is a very proactive person, and then he has listened and he has paid us attention. So he has given the promise that by next week, the engineer and co will be at site to desert a particular area, because we want to divert it from there. The cost of the current one is way beyond the threshold of the municipal assembly. And so we are going to do a temporary one that is befitting for our children and the women. They are at our heart, and so we must also ensure that whatever is done is in their interest.
Honorable Sultan, how much is it going to cost to repair the bridge?
In fact, I would have to consult the technical men. But however, I think your reporter was there. There are four footbridges that connect Abensu to Pukwase, Bese, and other areas. This is the longest. It is quite long. And so, for instance, I lobbied a certain association called the First Ladies Club. They assisted us in so many ways. So we put it in shape before the unfortunate incidents happened. But the cost is, is beyond us until the district assembly or the highways come in. It's something that the ordinary residents like myself and my people cannot bear that cost.
Okay. You keep saying the cost is beyond you, but so what is the cost? Can you give us an idea of why it's beyond you? How much it's going to cost? Give us an idea. You know it's beyond you, so you must have an idea.
Yeah, exactly. There should have been some level of budgeting. I mean, you've done the cost breakdown,
right,
the cost analysis.
Of course. The budgeting has been done. Unfortunately, I am saying this because when we are doing a certain or a maintenance of it, we do the costing based on our level. But when the district assembly with a whole engineer, it is a whole different ball game. Because what we are going to do is just to, grant us a little access. But the district assembly is going to do something that is.
All right, looks like we're having a bit of technical.
Call a figure that might not.
We're having difficulty.
Yeah.
We're losing the assembly member for the Abensu electoral area, Honorable Sultan Nuhu there. But I was going to ask him about. He says the cost is above the assembly. So in the interim, while they wait for, the state or the highways authority to come fix the bridge, what plans did they have? To salvage the situation in the interim. So we don't hear stories like that of the little girl drowning. But let's personalize this issue. We have a resident of the area in studio with us, Max. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Great. How do you survive on this bridge?
I live at where I live is a place called New Life. It's also within Trobo constituency. Okay. But my mom lives literally close to the bridge. Okay. So every time I'm going to my mom, I use the bridge. Right. I was sick. I had surgery February this year. So for about 4 months, I hadn't used the bridge. The next time I was going to use it, in fact, when I got to the bridge, it was so precarious. So I was scared to even walk on it. So I stood back and then I decided to take pictures of it and probably share on social media. So when I was taking the pictures, then the teacher that was speaking to Philip came and then then asked me, what am I taking those pictures for? And then I said, why? Then he said, there is a lot of story about this bridge. Then I said, okay, I'm prepared to listen. Then he told me an incident where there is a man called Kampala who lived close to the bridge. And every time children fall in, he's the one who has to rush in to rescue them. Wow. And then one time the bridge got broken and the man started fixing. He organized the communal labor and they started fixing it themselves. So after working on it for maybe 2 days, on the third day, then they started to put a bowl there for people to voluntarily contribute towards the repairs work willingly. So then people were genuinely contributing. So Philip, the teacher that was spoke to, he said when he also used the bridge on his way to school. So he said when he came back and he saw the work that Kampala and the others were doing, he was so touched. So he only had 5 cedis left in his pocket, but he dropped in. Then the next day he went to school and seek permission to come and assist in the communal work. So I think on the 3rd or 4th day working, then the MP for the area, Moses Enim, got hint of the work going on, and then he came around. So when he came, then he questioned them that who authorized them to do what they were doing. So when he asked, then the Kampala man said, well, you MPs or big men, this is what you do to us. When you need our vote, you come to us. But after you got the vote, then you abandon us. So I think what he said got the MP angry. And then the MP decided to call the police to come and arrest him. So apparently he called the police and was speaking to the police. So then the residents, those who were around, then they all started begging, oh, please don't do that, please don't do that. Then the MP told those around that they should go and take their money from the bowl. So there was a scramble. There were those who hadn't even put a penny in the bowl, but they went to get some of the money. Yeah. So then it ended over there. So the Kampala man went away. So apparently it took about 2 weeks, and then the MPs, workers, assistants, or whatever, then they came and then mobilized, and then they again patched it in a certain way. So I crossed the bridge and spoke to the Kampala to get the details so I could do an article. So I wrote an article about the bridge, and it was published on Ghana Web and my Join online, and there were commentaries here and there. Later, I sent it to Daily Graphic, and it was again published in the Daily Graphic on Monday, April 26th.
Right.
So that was it. And then they got it fixed in a certain way, and they were using it. About a month ago, there was a heavy rain. Then it washed half of the bridge away again.
Wow.
So now they only had a small section of the wooden things left.
Yes.
That's when they now have to remove it from the concrete pillars, as you can see, and now try to adjust the little they have and see if they could still.
So it's actually removed from its original position.
Exactly, removed from its original position.
Okay.
So that's what they did about a month ago. On Friday, I was on my way to work, and
just
then
this past Friday.
No, this Friday was a week. So Friday, the 29th of April.
Okay.
I was on my way to work, and I had a call that my mom was in
October. You mean?
October.
Yes,
29th of
October. 29th October. Yes, please. Last Friday was a week. So I was on my way to work, and I had a call that my mom wasn't feeling well. So I quickly rushed back. So that Friday, I used the bridge. I took my mom to hospital, and unfortunately, she passed out
dear.
at Abensu Hospital.
So sorry.
So I sent my mom's body to Insawan mortuary. Just when I got back home, then I had a call on my phone. Somebody from Abensu calling that, well, the bridge that you have been writing articles about, 3 children have fallen into the bridge, and they were able to rescue 2, but the 3rd one is unaccounted for. So when I started doing the articles writing, I used to share it to some of your media men. So when the death thing was told, just as I came back from the mortuary, then I quickly forwarded the death incidents, the children falling, again to your media men. That was Friday. On Monday, then Akosia contacted me and said she would be interested to cover this bridge.
Okay, you heard what the assemblyman said about bringing a contractor there, all of that. Are you aware of any of this?
I'm not aware of it. It's stories. In fact, you hear so much stories, and what bothers me sometimes the fact that the MP knows this bridge very well. He had lived in the area for even before becoming an MP, and apparently even at the time he came to stop the work, so he knows the condition of the bridge. And before election, there were promises here and there, we'll get it fixed. But after the election,
we understand the assembly member is back with us, Honorable Sultan Nuhu Mohammed. Let's find out from him if he knows about this story about a Kampala trying to fix the bridge and the MP coming in to stop it. Honorable, if you got that, let's have your response to that.
Hello, Honorable.
I think we're still struggling.
I think he's still having some technical issues there. Yeah. All right. Hopefully he can tell us if there are any timelines, concrete timelines. Yeah. You know, he said now they have the MC thing is all settled. It's taken a while. Yeah. Okay, we'll even give them that. But we still need to know if there are any concrete timelines. I'm assuming this is on the priority list, like top number 1. Okay.
You know, strangely what happened that day when your media, your news team, we passed on the side, we parked. They came and met me at Amasama. Then we went to the bridge. So they parked from the teacher corporate side. Then after they did the coverage, then we crossed the bridge for them to speak with the children's parents. Then as they were doing it, then the rain started. Yeah. So it rained for a little and then kind of stopped. Then they decided to go when it had almost stopped. They started, then they went away. When they went, I was still there. Then the rain started to rain heavily. So after about 45 minutes, half of the bridge was now covered. So then I called them and said, well, I wish you were here. You wouldn't have been able to walk across again to go to your car. Either you have to go the long way through the Pokwase, whatever.
So this is affecting everybody's life.
Everybody. So as at that time now, parents from Abensu had now come to the bridge expecting their children, and some were complaining. There was a woman who was even saying the teachers should have known that when they see the weather in a certain manner, then they should close the children early so for them to come before the rains starting.
Look at how it's affecting all this.
Yeah, one bridge affecting the economy of the area, and of course the education, safety, of the children, the health. It's dangerous. Anyway. Well, we hope the authorities are watching, they're listening, they're seeing the videos and the dangers posed swiftly as a matter of urgency. Let's move in and let's fix this bridge to protect lives and property.
Thank you so much for joining us, Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxwell is a resident of Abensu, and of course he has been sharing the experience, narrating the incidents to us, and we hope to get some response to this. Earlier we had joining us via Zoom the Assembly member for the Abensu electoral area as well, Honorable Nuhu Mohammed Sultan, also given us, well, some sort of assurances, not banking his hopes, of course, on, in his own way, someone's promises, but we do hope that whoever is in charge moves in and honors that promise and fixes that bridge.
Definitely. And when we come back, we'll take a quick trip to the Volta region, to Kita to be precise, and some other communities in that area. Now, the sea is reclaiming its space. If you know what I'm talking about, there's a sea defense wall that desperately needs to be built along that coastline because the devastation is terrible. Communities are being destroyed. People are losing their homes and their possessions. It's a serious issue. We'll check in with our colleague Duke Mensa Opoku, who's taken a trip there and see what the situation is on the ground.